We'll be glad to have him back, but for right now, it's all right.
Yes, Robert.
I believe so.
Call this meeting of the Redwood Parish Library Board of Control to order. First off is to say the pledge. Pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Take a moment of silence. See if there's any public comments. Don't see anybody have any. Okay, next we need to get the approval of the agenda. Get somebody to make a motion.
I make a motion we approve the agenda.
I second it.
Moved and seconded, the agenda has been approved. Next item is the board member reports. Board reports. Next is the approval of the May minutes. Has everyone had a chance to look them over and have any questions or comments or corrections? Okay, I get a motion to approve the May minutes.
So moved.
Second.
Moving to second, all in favor of approving the May minutes, aye.
Aye.
It's been approved. Next up is the financial report to Stacy.
Afternoon. Hope everybody had a chance to look over them over the weekend. If you look at the balance sheet, the reserves for retirement area, the checking 2.9, that is in essence, our fund balance. That's what we have left after we deal with the budget for 22 and 23. Does anybody have any questions on that? I know that's the biggest number y'all wanna hear about. No, I will bring your attention to the liabilities. If you'll notice, there's credit there. We actually have credit out at AT&T for our internet, for our Wi-Fi and our WAN, and at CenturyLink as well for the internet on their portion. So the 46 actually is going to be a little bit more. We are up to 63,000 as a credit. And then we have a few things that were on the employee deductions that were prepaid that the employees will pay for this month. Other than that, everything looks good there. Does anybody have any questions on the sheet? No? All right. We'll go on to the operating statement. Little by little, we're getting some of our revenue in, and if you'll notice on the 3,000, very first line, our ad valorem tax, we actually have reflected a little bit more than anticipated. So we're rocking along quite happily. We go to our expenditures. The only real thing that I want to draw your attention to is the gasoline prices have started really affecting us. We are really starting to see it hit our budget and bottom line on that one. And a little bit of our equipment is being increased or doubled in some cases because of supply chain and the cost going up. And we are rocking along with our summer reading program. So we're starting to see a lot of those come in. And once again, the prices are really starting to show. But as as of the end of May, we actually are still within budget on most everything. Anybody have any questions?
And y'all kind of looked at the gas, see if maybe we're gonna keep double.
It is, yeah, it is slowly going up, and as we spend more time out in the, community, our vehicles are being used more often, we are seeing the gas tanks being filled up a little more often, so we're gonna start seeing it jump. It is what it is for the moment. Any other questions? Yay. Approval.
Motion to approve. Anybody have any questions after looking over all the financials? Okay, can I get a motion to approve the financial report?
Make a motion we approve the financial report as stated.
Second.
Been moved and seconded. All in favor of approving the financial report? Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, the financial report's been approved. Thank
All
you.
right, I just have one little thing to bring to your attention. We have finalized with the auditor for the year. So he is putting together his final package, and he will be presenting to the board here in August. So we'll be able to go through with that.
Thank you. Next up is director's report.
I just have a few little things for you. We are currently in the midst of updating our payroll system. Earlier in the year, we thought that we were going to have to transition to a new system because the company that we were using was bought out, but they actually are still providing service for the products that we have. We did do the update, and we are going to continue to host it on a dedicated server rather than pay hosting costs, because those were significant. I believe it's right around $1,800 a month, and we are perfectly capable, our IT team here is perfectly capable of hosting it using a server here, and we had an available server, so we're gonna do that. The bookmobile went into the shop due to a failing generator. It was not a fiscally wise move to make another repair. The cost of the repair, if it would have even been possible, would have been 3/4 of the cost of a new generator. And they couldn't guarantee how long that would keep us on the road. So instead, we are going with purchasing a new generator. The only problem with that is due to the supply chain issues. They said it could take up to 6 to 8 months to receive it. However, the generator repair person, they had previously quoted, that is a worst case scenario, they had previously quoted for another job that they did, that it would take 3 to 5 months earlier this year, and it was done within about a month and a half. So I'm hoping that that trend continues, and we are pleasantly surprised and it's taken care of more quickly than that. In the meantime, we just transitioned our bookmobile services to a homebound delivery type service. And also, we offer a mailing service as well as a meetup service. So we just kind of took those patrons we were serving in that way and altered the way we were serving them until we can get the bookmobile back on the road.
How old is the bookmobile?
Oh goodness, I believe it is right around 15 years old, 14 years old.
Why did I think we had just bought one in the last 5 or 6 years?
No, it's quite a bit older than that. Tara, do you know approximately how old this? You have more
It's the
familiar.
exact same one we had when I started roughly 7 years ago, so it is older.
Yeah, it's at least a
I think-
decade old, but old,
I think
old,
we
but a
just got
little.
it because I've got one more year, and we got it since I've been on the board, so I've been on the board 9 years, so it's probably about 8 years old.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah,
So,
I didn't
right
think-
at a-
didn't
I thought it was
think
older
fif-
than that.
I didn't
No, it
think
was used.
15.
It was used, yeah.
Okay, it was used.
Because
when
I know
we
the
got
model
it.
number is about 14, 15 years old, so, that could be why.
And the home visits, you had requests from folks too?
Yes, ma'am. What we do
So you
is.
have a list?
Yes, ma'am. We have our regulars on the bookmobile that Londa and the crew are very familiar with, and they'll accept the application to do a homebound delivery, which is something that we offer anyway. So we're just kind of expanding who can utilize that service. Typically it's for people with a medical need, but we're just expanding that service for the moment.
And you do actually go to the home, it's not like a central location?
Right. If at all possible, if there's some reason that they cannot get, the road is not passable or something of that nature, then they would have a meetup spot, but whenever it's possible, they do. They do a drop off, usually they do a no contact drop off is typically what's done. Okay. So we did have a couple of minor fender benders, which is also the product of, we have been out and about much more and things happen. At fairs and festivals, people back into you, little minor things happen. And there was a little bit of damage, $1,600 of damage for one of the occurrences, $950 paid in cash, and then $650 was covered by the insurance. It does not take much to rack up some costs with repairs. We learned that. Estimates are currently underway for the second incident. We did send out a refresher post-incident about general library driving procedures, and we have a procedure that has been prepared. That was just some notes that I sent out, but we have an official procedure update that Jackie has compiled, and it's going to be going out shortly to all the drivers. And those are just reminders of basic best practices, as well as a few little additional things that we changed.
I got the numbers today on the second.
Oh, okay. What were the numbers on the second?
It'll be $1,000 for cash and $5,500 on the insurance.
Okay.
Ooh,
Yeah. Like I said, it adds up very quickly.
I take it no one was hurt.
No, and that's what, thankfully, no one was injured in either incident. There were minor fender benders, but it doesn't take much to do.
and then the premiums will go up.
Of course. So yes, so that we are facing that. But on a more positive note, now that we've talked about that and gas and whatnot, at the branches, we are seeing increases in branch visits. We're seeing boosted circulation numbers. Our summer feeding program that we're having at all of the branches is very popular. We're seeing large groups of kids showing up and families showing up for that. We do provide lunches at all branches 5 days a week, and that is through the food bank. And then we also provide via the food bank on the weekends backpacks, which the kids can take home with shelf-stable items for them to have during the weekend.
So the Monday through Friday, is it a sack lunch?
It is, well, it's a little box lunch that has shelf-stable items. It's things like jerky sticks and cheese sticks and crackers, usually some type of fruit cup. They've had sunflower butter in them and like to make peanut butter, but sunflower butter sandwiches. And there's usually a variety of items, shelf-stable milk and juice and water.
Wow, that's
So,
great.
yeah, they're nice little kits. The kids seem to really enjoy them. I've been at branches a few times whenever the kids have been eating them, and it seems like the kids all really love the cheese sticks. That seems to be the preference. But that's going over really well. So far this summer, we have handed out several hundred meals already.
And you may have an increase. I thought I heard something recently about the summer feeding program that goes on at the schools in the area.
Yes.
And I think there was a discussion about a last day and whether there was going to be money to continue through the summer. So you may have a few more little kitties
We may.
rolling in.
We may, because it does tend right now to skew slightly younger. Lene, do you think that's fair to say, that it seems that it's slightly younger children coming in with parents?
Yes, but we have those that are up to 18 that
Yeah.
are participating in high school students, so.
So yeah.
Whoever's in the family comes if they're up to 18, their
Right.
mom bring them on, so.
So, but what you were saying with with the schools no longer, if they no longer supply, that we'll probably see the increase of the school students. And I
We're
think
going
that's
through August the sixth,
right.
so.
So that's very likely. And then all of that, there's no required, no income minimums, or maximums, no information required, nothing like that. The only thing that requires any information is if you do the backpacks, then they take down some basic information just because it's sort of an exchange program where you come back and fill up your backpack and then go. And then we are also participating in a digital inclusion project. I know that you have all heard on the news about the broadband coming to the state of Louisiana and the broadband plans. We are one of 7 libraries in the state who are participating in this project, and it is a train the trainers kind of thing, where there's a group of us who are on staff, myself included, who are learning about how to help bridge those gaps in digital equity, and to, once we have the broadband infrastructure coming throughout the state, how to help people who may not be familiar to utilize the internet, to utilize resources, and how to best approach teaching people who may not have or may have very limited technology experience. So we're part of that, and there are grant funds that are tied to it, that once we complete some of this training and I turn in some paperwork at the end of this month, we will be getting approximately $20,000 to go towards programming that will be related to assisting our communities with their needed tech skills now, and then also tech skills in the future. And then in other news, of course, we have the LLA conference, which I am chairing, which will be on July 7th through the 9th. We have quite a few staff members who are volunteering and who are helping out with the conference. And we also have Mr. Walker, who is going to be providing his expertise at one of the pre-conferences regarding retirement planning. So we're
hard up for somebody.
So yeah, we are very excited for all of that, and I know there's a lot of librarians who are excited to be in Alexandria. That's all I have.
Any questions or comments for Celine?
Any questions?
Next up will be the direct services report.
Good afternoon to everyone. Just to kind of piggyback off for Celeste, we're excited for the branches are having activity. They having people come in, they having the kids in, even with being what we call on our side, short staff, they're enduring. So I really kudos to all the branch managers and staff. They are really working it and providing the service that's needed for the programming. We took on the food bank programming, not knowing we had to have a staff member sit in there with them. So that kind of took a little bit from us, but it still has worked out, and so we're happy for that and for that. I just want to make sure to be clear on this, the backpack that they go home on the weekend is only being sponsored at 2 branches. That's McDonald and Keene. So not all of our branches are participating. And I would say Heinston is not participating in the food bank either. They just didn't think they had the children that's there that would do it. So we're excited for it. Like I say, it ends on August the 6th, but we're happy that they approached us and gave us opportunity to be a facilitator area where they would come and pass out. So there's 4 different meals, so they're not getting like the same thing every day. Actually, I passed out one today and they have little tenders in it. I'm not sure what it would taste like, but they're tenders with the sauce to go with it. So they are very, nutritional type meals that they get. So
Little what?
Chicken.
Chicken tenders.
Really?
No, yeah, not McDonald's, but they're chicken tenders. But and I have to say, I've watched the kids. They eat it. They love it. So they're not warmed up or anything. They just take them on like they are. But they do have 5 different type of meals that they're getting every week. So they're not getting the same thing every week at all. So that's, yeah. So that's all for direct service, unless anyone have any questions for me.
Is that something that anybody if it would be feasible to contact some local businesses about making donations for fresh, like McDonald's or Burger King or Subway or something like that. Yeah, I don't know if any companies would be willing to do it, but.
You mean to provide
Right.
food and things like?
Even just to one branch, just, you know, hey, this day we're gonna bring this.
Well-
Maybe another place, we're gonna bring this to this branch, just.
I do know that some branches do reach out when they're getting ready to do their end of their summer reading program. They do reach out to restaurants and things like that, and some of them do. Chick-fil-A is our number one that actually can donate and do things like that. And sometimes they don't necessarily donate the food, and I think with COVID, as it's still kind of like it is, they're give out little cards, you know, like little discount cards. Definitely, Sonic is another good one that we use.
Whataburger as well. Whataburger gave us all those bookmarks.
Yes,
with the
so
free burger
Whataburger
for
gave us
kids.
bookmarks, and so
Yeah.
they'll do that to where they can go and get discounts and things like that.
Very good. Glad I heard that.
Yeah, they're really good about giving out the coupons, and they typically do the bookmark coupons with, I know Sonic and Whataburger do that.
Any other libraries doing anything like this in conjunction with the food bank?
We do have a few other libraries statewide that are doing similar programs. This was actually something that I did years ago at Beauregard through the Food Bank of Southwest Louisiana, instead of Central Louisiana. So the various subsidiaries of the food bank, they provided, and I think, if I'm not mistaken, Jefferson Parish is doing it through the Greater New Orleans Food Bank. I'm not sure, it seems like I've heard of a few others, but there are a handful of us throughout the state doing it.
This particular one, they're also sponsoring food in Natchitoches at the Boys and Girls Club
Yeah.
in Natchitoches. It all came through a grant, so.
Well, I kind of figured.
Yeah,
Yes.
so.
Yeah, what typically happens, the food banks receive the grant monies, and then you have an application period where different institutions, the Boys and Girls Club, or, I've also heard of like the Kiwanis Kids, the K-Kids, they've done it in other parishes, just depending on who's involved.
Anybody have any other questions? Okay, hearing none, next up is Human Resources.
Hello, everyone. I don't have anything's running smoothly, although we do have some, people that have joined the clan, but I'll let Jamie handle that. I'm super excited about that one, just want to say hello to everyone.
No news is good news, right? Next up is Programming and Outreach.
Carla is jet setting today, so I am pinch hitting for her. Hope that's okay.
Everything is wonderful at programming and outreach, or the pods, as we call ourselves. Summer reading is underway. The theme for this year is Oceans of Possibilities, and all the branches have done a great job with decorations and bringing the theme to life. It's a pretty easy theme. We just finished our first week of in-person entertainment at the branches since 2019. And it was the Didgeridoo Down Under, and it was a huge success. The children get to hear didgeridoo music while also learning about the Aboriginal people of Australia. And starting next week, we have Harvey Rabbit and Friends, Magic with David LaBeouf, Music with Brian and Terry Kinder, all still to come approximately every other week this summer. And it's going to be a fantastic summer. We have also participated in many community events this month. We did spin painting at the Sinaloa Pride. We're a weekly guest at Camp Power, and we have been guest readers and presenters at several summer schools, just to name a few of our activities. All of these things are in addition to the regular programs we have, including art classes, story times, book clubs, As Young as You Feel Day, and so many more. We are looking forward to the rest of summer reading and all the fun events and outreach opportunities to come this fall. That was from Carla. Does anybody have any questions for that?
I'm full of questions.
Oh, good. I'm full of answers.
What can I say? What is spin painting?
Okay,
This is so much fun. I actually did it at the Fostering Communities. You get a salad spinner. Yes. And you cut a round piece of, we used cardstock. You put it in the bottom. You let the kids squirt paint in there, just however much, all the colors they want, and you put the lid on and you spin the salad spinner.
And it throws it, it's.
Slings paint, it makes a big mess inside the salad
Oh,
spinner.
that was where I was.
Everything is
What
here.
is in
Everywhere.
everywhere?
Everything is contained in this salad spinner, and you take it out and you hand it to them to warn them. You know, it's going to be a few days to dry, but all the paint is just inside the salad spinner. You let it dry, and then you can just peel it out. It's really cool.
And what is Camp Power?
That is just a summer camp here.
Through one of the schools?
No, it's not through one of the schools. I'm not sure who it's through. I'm sorry.
Is it through the city of Alexandria?
City.
It is. It's through the city of Alexandria.
Okay, like that, maybe the rec centers and
It is,
stuff?
it
Okay.
is.
Parks and Rec, yeah.
Okay,
Well, I have one answer I didn't have. Is that it?
thank you.
Thank you.
Jackie has us ready for some big news from you.
I have the best news ever. Y'all ready? Our internet problem that we've had for 18 months is fixed. I'm so happy. And the way it got fixed is we did hire a new systems administrator, and he started on June the 6th. And on day 2, at 11:30, the problem was fixed. And this was after we had 2 engineers from different outside companies look at our problem. So I think we have a good person. I'm gonna try to bring him here on, for the August, board meeting so y'all can meet him. So with that said, we're able to move on to different projects. We're redoing our Windows update, the way that we push out Windows updates every month on all of our staff and public computers. And then also our backup. We're coming up with a different, well, he's coming up with a different backup, backing up our servers and stuff like that. So anyway, that's my news, and that's all I have to say. Y'all have any questions or comments for me? Thank you.
News for the year, pretty much for you.
It is.
huh?
Yes. Absolutely. Thank y'all.
Thank you.
A day and a half. He had lunch that day.
I'm going to start with saying I'm very embarrassed because Celeste found a typo on the back of my report, and I was already here before I found out about it, so it's embarrassing. But we're going to move on in life. I'm sorry. Okay.
I know now we all want you.
I see it.
She found it.
I see it.
Where? Yes. Yes. And it's a bad one, kind of.
It's a funny one.
It is funny.
Okay, so right now, you guys know I'm promoting summer reading program, and we've been having a lot of author meet and greets, so I'm excited about those. We've been promoting them. Miss Sylvia Yancey Davis will be here on the 27th to talk about not only the history of storytelling, but her experience as a storyteller. I think that's going to be a great event. It's the one sponsored by our friends, and I think it is going to be the last one in that speaking series. We have our back to school supply giveaway. We're getting a little bit of a head start on that this year to let everyone know about it. And we're having it a little bit earlier on July 20th, and it's going to be drive-through at Main Library. And then, of course, I'm promoting our lunch program and partnership and lots of other things. We are still seeing growth on social media. We have 12,179 followers across all of our channels. Our newsletter, I'm pretty happy with the open rate, but I would like to see it go up about 4%. And also, I would like people to click on things and get to our website more. So I'm going to try to work on that and see if I can arrange those newsletters a little bit better to get more click through.
I'm sorry, I need to interject.
Okay.
She's been scheming on ways to trick people into clicking.
Clickbait.
Yeah, exactly, clickbait.
No. And then our online business listings provided information to over 25,000 people in the last 30 days. So that just shows that's an important place for us to communicate with our community. And then on the back, you can see my media relations. I got to go. Apparently, I'll be on Good Day Sin Law on board meeting day for forever. So I got to go today. That one's not on there. But I talked about all the things that we just talked about plus some. So does anybody have questions? No? Okay, thank you.
Next up is any old business. Here's none, any new business. I'd just like to ask something. I'd seen the, I guess it was Lon, I can't remember who the other lady was, at one of the farmers markets.
Mhm.
They're not setting the tent up because it's so hard to set up.
Okay.
I like to see them set it up because it's too hot.
Gotcha.
It's too hot, and if I'm at the one, I mean, all I have to do is ask her. If I see them, I'll help them.
Right.
But we all help each other. I think your dad will say that, and so tell them just to ask. Somebody will help.
That's what I'll tell
I
them.
just don't want them cooking in the sun right now.
No, and I stopped them from cooking this summer at the JLA event, so I'll make sure that they know that.
And I did find out, and I don't know if this was told to me by another vendor, that they had gone out to a farmer's market and were asked to pay a vendor fee.
That was DeVille.
Yeah.
Yes. And that was true?
Yes.
Okay. I was unhappy about that because the library's not a vendor. They don't sell anything. All other vendors sell things, and I just think that wasn't correct to ask for a fee, so.
It wasn't, but the different markets have their different rules, and we wanna make sure that we're respecting that, so, thank you, but
Is that the only one that's ever
I
asked for a fee?
believe so.
Okay.
I believe so, is that correct?
I haven't seen any come through other.
I haven't seen any other requests that I know of.
We did, at Riverbed,
Well, yes,
so we did.
that was a special event fee, but as far as the farmers markets, I think that's the only one that's made a request.
That's good, because I personally don't think they should pay, because that's not, they're not selling, they're not getting an income, so they shouldn't have to pay anything, so.
Right.
It's just a public service, which people like to have them there.
They do, and I think the kids enjoy touring the bookmobile whenever they come. That seems to be the highlight. I know for the JLA event they did that, getting pictures, on the bookmobile seemed to be a big thing, so.
Okay. That's all I had. Does anybody have any questions, comments? Hearing none, the next meeting will be, of course, not having one in July. Next one will be August 16th here at 3:30. This meeting's now adjourned.